Well, is Michael Trebesh the king of wishful thinking, or will he, in fact, get to run for state senate? Brian Calley defeated him in the primary, and then Brian Calley was tapped to run with Rick Snyder in the lieutenant governor position there as his running mate. And so, logically, you might say, well, wait a minute, the guy who finished second ought to go ahead and get the nomination, shouldn't he? Well, it doesn't quite work that way. And Michael Trebesh is on the other end of our line right now for this 33rd district seat there in the DeWitt area. Good morning.
Good morning, Michael. How are you today?
My logic makes sense, doesn't it? After all, you finished second. You spent a lot of your own money, as I'm told. Why shouldn't you now move into the top spot?
Well, I am the only one that actually ran. I did put my head into the arena. It was an open primary. Everyone had the opportunity to run, and I chose, and I put the work forth. And as of Saturday, I had 283 people call or email me, and everyone said I should be the candidate of choice because I did come in second. I carried 13,000 votes. I carried 2 of the 4 counties. I have over 600 signed endorsement cards from Right to Life activists, farm people, and small business owners. And they say it's only the right and the fair thing to do.
And yet, it doesn't happen that way.
No.
How does it happen?
Well, as I understand it, there will be a mini convention of the 4 counties involved, and the executive committee of the Republican Party for the 4 counties and some of the elected officials, county elected officials, will have a mini conference or a mini meeting and vote for the next candidate or the candidate to replace Brian Calley. So I certainly want to wish Brian Calley a great career. I think he'll do a great job as lieutenant governor. He's a young, smart, articulate fellow, and he will do well. He has a great future in front of him.
But that leaves everybody else out of the process, doesn't it? All the regular voters.
That's right. There's going to be maybe 100 votes, 100 people deciding who the next candidate will be, who the replacement candidate will be. And a lot of people do not believe that's fair. They said these other individuals haven't run. They haven't received 1 vote. They haven't put 1 dime or 1 minute of time into campaigning. I've gone to thousands of doors. I've met with thousands of people. And basically, I understand some of their frustrations, their challenges, and the issues.
Speaking of dimes, how many dimes did you yourself put into that race, too? You spent a lot of your own money, didn't you?
Right. I don't need a job. I've been very successful. God's been very good and blessed our family. I've been very prudent. I want to take the conservative values that made me successful down to Lansing. Probably somewhere in the figure of 200,000, the high 200,000. We haven't finalized the last all the figures yet.
So you put your money where your mouth was.
Well, absolutely. And again, I didn't need the job. I don't need the job, but I'm a little disappointed with the direction of Lansing, and I want to change. I want to get in. I could just sit back and let the world go by. I have a brand new daughter. It's our first child, our first marriage. She's 13 months old. And the best thing about the campaign was meeting all the nice people, but the downside was I just spent a lot of time away from my daughter. But I am so committed to Michigan. I love Michigan. I'm born and raised here on a Michigan farm. I'm a certified public accountant, spent my career here, and it's important for us to change Michigan around. We need to reconstruct the middle class here in Michigan and bring back prosperity. And I think somebody that understands business, somebody that understands budget, has a better chance of doing that. And I'm going down there with no commitments. I haven't made any promises. I haven't made any deals. I'm basically going down there free and represent the people. Yesterday when I went to church, went to our service, I walked in and 11 people surrounded me. I mean, I was circled. And they were all concerned and frustrated that this process isn't going to take their view and their support into consideration. When I left the service, 5 people came up and circled me and asked me the same question. They believe the Republican Party has to do the right thing. They have to do what's fair. They have to do what is best for the people, not what's best for the party.
What reason would they give you for not giving you the nomination?
No reason has been given. No formal communication has been forthcoming. That's a question you'd have to ask them.
Is there some sort of interview process or debate or vetting process?
Well, it's, as far as I know, it's somewhat confusing. They're meeting today to determine or to identify some of the specifics of the process. But there has been very little communication, lots of rumors, but very little communication from the Republican Party. I was a participant in the state convention on Saturday. I've been a delegate to the state convention for several years. It was a very interesting process, but no communication, nothing formal has been forthcoming. But they are meeting today, and they're going to decide exactly the process, and I'm assuming there's going to be a communication to all the candidates.
Is this one of those largely conservative districts, and I need a real quick answer, where the nominee on the Republican Party is very likely to win the general?
Probably, but I have a network in play. I have a volunteer group that's ready to go. I've actually campaigned in all 4 counties. We did a survey Friday night. There was a random survey by a legitimate company, a legitimate survey, and I outpaced one of my competitors by 2 to 1, 2.5 to 1, and the other almost 2 to 1.
We'll keep in touch with Michael Trebesh, who may or may not be running for the state Senate on the Republican side in that 33rd district, the Alan Cropsey seat that's vacating.